Greetings, captains. I am Wizard, and welcome to another very special Starfield ship build guide. This is the Omen, and it was built specifically for the Crimson Fleet questline. It is a great smuggling ship, as it has a high shielded cargo capacity, but the Omen would also make a great bounty hunting ship, as it is very maneuverable, it has devastating firepower, and it has great defense. Although it is a Class C Corvette, the Omen is equipped with Class B engines, and therefore has quite an advantage when it comes to speed and direction change when compared to a typical Class C ship. Despite the compact interior layout of the ship and its overall slim profile, I was able to include a core window feature in the Omen, just like in the Citadel, the Basilisk 2, and the Vulcan. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the intro that this was a very special build guide, and you may be wondering why. This is legitimately the 10th ship that I've built for my fleet, and it is very likely that this may be my last 100% vanilla build, thanks to Bethesda finally releasing the creation kit for Starfield. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are new to Starfield, you may want to check out my Outpost Guide playlist, where I give you some suggestions for home base locations, as well as some inspiration for a home base build. I also have a beginner resource outpost guide, where you can build a Vitinium mine for on-demand credits, and I have an automated Vitinium fuel rod manufacturing outpost build guide. The next playlist you might want to check out is my Starship Archive. There I've got ship builds starting at level 14 and going all the way up to and through level 60. Everything from fighters to corvettes to destroyers and even heavy cargo hauling ships. I just released episode 2 of Becoming a God, which is my Starfield FPS combat progression series. I started this at level 50, and at the end of episode 2, I reached level 110. If you'd like to continue to watch the progression of a combat-based character through Starfield gameplay, I recommend you go and check out my Becoming a God playlist. Thank you all so much for watching. To build the Omen exactly as I do in this guide, you'll need to be at character level 60 or higher. You'll need at least 474,000 credits, and this is at Commerce rank 4. You'll also need piloting rank 4, as the ship is powered by a Class C reactor. And you'll need Starship Design rank 4 for several of the modules chosen for this build. For missions, you'll need to complete Grunt Work, which unlocks the UC Vanguard specific ship modules, of which we use the Vanguard Hellfires and Obliterator auto projectors for this ship. You'll need to complete the mission The Best There Is, which unlocks the ComSpike module, and that gives you a nice decrease to your target lock time, and I find that very useful on extreme difficulty. You'll also need to complete the mission Absolute Power, which unlocks the Conduction Grid module, and that gives you a significant buff to your shield's recharge rate. Optional mission completion for this one is Echoes of the Past. At the end of that mission, you use the UC prison shuttle to escape from certain doom. And since this ship was aimed at being a pirate ship, I thought it was very appropriate to use the UC prison shuttle as the base for this build. I've chosen the UC prison shuttle as my starting canvas, but you can use whatever you like. Grab your starter ship and follow along with the steps that I've provided you in this guide, and you'll be able to build the Omen over any other ship that you choose. Once you've chosen your canvas, the first location you need to go is to the Narian system. We're going to visit Havershaw at the Stroud-Eklund Staryard. A quick note while I'm docking, you do not have to fly your chosen starter ship while you gather parts. If you'd prefer to fly something that is already set up for combat, that is clearly the safe way to go in case you run into some trouble along the way. Once you've docked, head inside, and Havershaw is either at one of his desks or that plant right back there in the corner.
If you need anything, just ask. Oh, you've come to the right place.
Once you're in the builder, the first thing you want to do is replace your cockpit with the Kontiki B400 bridge. This is a smaller version of the B600 that I used on the Citadel, but this one is more compact and therefore is easier to package. The next thing we need is a 2x2 battle station, and this is going to be the only large hab module that I use for this build due to the more compact hab layout and overall profile of the Omen. Now, while we're here, we also need to go ahead and grab our reactor, as we are going to be upgrading the engines and the shields and the weapons, certain of the weapons, up to Class B. So go ahead and find the SF-40 sheared flow reactor. I chose this one because it has the highest power generated, but is also the lower weight of the two reactors in the game that produce 40 power, which is the maximum the game has to offer. But now you can see the builder is showing us an error, and I'm trying to figure out what's unattached right here, but it's pretty simple. It's just that the grav drive is unattached. We could leave the reactor in this position and it would be just fine, but I chose to drop it down one unit and move the grav drive up here underneath the 2x2 battle station. Once you clear the builder, you're finished here, and we can move on to our next location. The next location you need to visit is in the Sol system, and here we are looking for Saturn's moon of Titan, and we need to land at New Homestead. Walk right over here and talk to the ship tech on the landing pad.
Hey, anything I can help you with? Sure, how about it?
Once you're in the builder, this is going to be a quick one. We need two things here. Find your cargo tab and get two 30T hauler cargo holds. And that's it. Next, we're heading to the Volii system, where we need to visit Neon. And as you know, this is where we can find Taiyo Astroneering. So fast travel to Neon Core, and when you get here, you want to find the Ryujin Tower, head to this elevator, and select the Taiyo Astroneering floor. Once you get down here, talk to Veronica.
You ready to change your life? It's so nice to have you here. How can I help you?
I can help myself.
We've got something for everyone.
Yeah, I get it. You're the best. Once you're finished dealing with her, get into your builder, and you want to start clearing space for new landing gear. So get rid of your old landing gear and anything else that's in the way. And you also need to make space for your new engines, which we are also getting from Veronica while we are here. So once that's done, pick an attachment point where you want your new landing gear to be attached to your starting ship. And we need 6 of the Pinpoint 4G landing gear modules. Once you have one side placed, you can select them all and duplicate them and move them over. And that part is done. Now we have our space for our engines, and we can go ahead and attach those as well. Here you are looking for the Slayton SAE 5660 Class B engines. Now, all Class B engines have a maximum power of 3, meaning you can only equip 4 of them total, because anything more would exceed the maximum power allotment allowed in the game at 12. Also, while I was here, I decided to just go ahead and equip the 28T Defender Shield that we are going to use on the final build, but this is also available at your outpost landing pad, so this is optional at this point. Now, we have an error of insufficient grav jump thrust, so I went ahead and deleted the old one, and I'm going to equip the Aurora 13G grav drive. And this is also what we will be using for the final build of the ship, so nothing that we've purchased here is wasteful in terms of credits in any way. On to the next location. The final location you need to visit before heading to your outpost landing pad with Shipbuilder is the Crix system, and you are looking for the key. As you know, this is where you can purchase the comm spike and conduction grid, and we are also going to get the scan jammer while we're here. Now, if you haven't completed these Crimson Fleet quests, you can go to the Red Mile in the Parima system to get your scan jammer, but you will not be able to purchase a conduction grid or comm spike module from Jazz. So get into your builder, and the first thing you want to do is attach the conduction grid module wherever you have an equipment attachment point. Then you want to equip a comm spike. And in the case of the way that I am gathering these parts, I don't have any other equipment attachment points on the ship currently. And on top of that, Jazz doesn't have equipment plates. So instead of using an equipment plate, because there's no option, I decided to just go with a Horizon weapon mount, opposite of where I placed the 28T Defender shield. And then I just stuck the scan jammer right on the upper attachment point of this, and make sure you get the multi-frequency scan jammer, as this is the highest performing one. Next is our outpost landing pad. Now that all of the necessary parts are gathered, it is time to head to your favorite outpost with a landing pad with Shipbuilder. In my case, it is Indigo Ridge, which is my main home base. Once you're there, head into your Shipbuilder screen, go to View and Modify Ships. The first thing you want to do is select your entire ship and delete it. And as usual, we are going to start with the landing bay. And for this ship, I decided to go with a Shipbed 200, because it has the rear hatch entry into the next hab module. So using the attach function, I went with a HopeTech storeroom 1x1, and this is where our primary ladder is going to be located in the ship. The next hab we want to place is the Stroud 2x2 battle station, and we have to do this one manually by getting it out into our builder field and moving it into position, as you see here. Now, to ensure we get a primary ladder straight up into the bridge, the next hab you want to place is the Kentucky B400 bridge that we got from Stroud-Eklund. Make sure you use the attach function, which is both triggers plus A, and get your bridge connected right here. It is important when you're building to try to use the attach function at every point possible. And this is to help the builder know where you would like to have your hatches and ladders. If you place them all manually without using attach, this is where you run into major issues with the layout of the interior of your ship. So just remember, anytime I say to use the attach function, it's both triggers plus A, and on keyboard it's just G. So on the rear starboard attachment point of the 2x2 battle stations, we want a Stroud living quarters 2x1. And then using attach on the front of that hab, I went with a Stroud all-in-one berth, a berth B. And then on the port side of the front of the 2x2 battle stations, I went with a Stroud infirmary 2x1. Once you have that placed, and you can go with something else here if you want. A science lab is good. We're going to put a workshop up top, so infirmary or science lab will give you that research bay and the pharmaceutical lab as well. So now we want to move back to the bottom of the ship, and using attach on the rear of the 1x1, we want to place a HopeTech armory. Now, the reason I chose the HopeTech armory is because it includes that one cell, kind of like a brig. It's just very small. Now, the order of the next steps is important, and what I want to note is the way that I placed these gave me the ladder where I wanted it, but it's not traditional. So I used attach here, but I needed to use an all-in-one berth to make sure it was in the right position, and then I selected it and switched it over to a Stroud workshop. Now, using attach on this point on the workshop, I chose a HopeTech companionway, and believe it or not, this actually placed the ladder underneath the 1x1, even though I'm using the order that you can see here. So if you want your ladder to be right behind your ladder to your bridge, which I think is most convenient, you need to do it that way. And then using attach on the starboard side of that 1x1, we need a HopeTech captain's quarters, but you can see it wants to be in this position. So I selected the armory, and then I selected the hab and switched it to a captain's quarters. And this is our hab module layout completed. This is everything that's going to be on the interior of the ship. And a quick disclaimer, I built this prior to the patch that added the empty hab modules, so that is why you won't see me using any in this ship. Now for our fuel tanks, I went with two 500T helium-3 tanks, as I think they are very efficient in terms of their size and their capacity. Now on the inside of one of those, you want to place your 28T Defender shield. Just below this, on the top of the armory, you want an equipment plate. And on the opposite side of the shield, you want to start with a Deimos Wing E. And you've probably guessed this is going to be the core window on the ship. And so right here, not the 1x1, on the back of the battle station, you want to place a porthole. This is your window to the core. Now while we're down here, we want to place our multi-frequency scan jammer, and opposite of the shield on the Deimos Wing E, we want to place the conduction grid. I just think these look really great, and kind of like they're handling some sort of wireless power transfer or something. The grav drive I placed just above, as you can visually see the armillary inside of your grav drive. So when you're looking out into the core of this ship, you have to look up slightly, but you can see the armillary if you have it built in there. And then attached to the rear of the grav drive, of course, is our SF-40 sheared flow reactor. Now with these things placed, we can move on to the landing gear. And you can attach these however you wish. But of course, we want to use our 6 pinpoint 4G landers that we got from Taiyo. You want to place your first lander just in front of the fuel tank, and then one in front of that. Duplicate those, move them over, and then place your last two on the outside of those landers. Now on the front of your inside landers on each side of the landing bay, you need 2 Taiyo braking engines. Here and here. Now on the front of our forward hab modules, we need to place our Stroud nose cap C's to complete the shape of the nose of the ship. One here and one here. And now we can move around to the rear of the ship. And I like to use attach in situations like this because it narrows down which parts you see in the menu and kind of saves you time. It's not necessary. It's just become a habit for me. But you need a Nova Cowling 2LBA on the back of each of your inside rear landers. Now again, I use attach here, and what we want are 2 of the 200 cm ballast shielded cargoes. And then on the back of the HopeTech armory, we want a 100 cm ballast shielded cargo. Now using attach again on the Nova Cowlings, Need to find the Stroud engine bracer B and put one of those on each side here. I think those look fantastic together for obvious reasons, if you ask me. But the way the angles work, they really just feel like they fit in there very well. Now moving on to the front upper portion of the ship, the first thing you want to place in front of the hab modules is a Deimos hull A on each side of the bridge. On the front of those hulls, you want a Deimos cowling each side. And then in front of those, we need a Deimos spine C, and you want it in this orientation. I just think it looks best with the weapons attached when you have it this way. Not this way. Or did I do this way? No, I flipped it back around. And here I am questioning my methods. So in front of those, we need the spine A. And that kind of completes the main part of the nose of the ship. But we need to finish out the outer shape on each side. So I started with the port side with a Deimos wing A. Duplicate that and flip it around to the aft orientation. Copy one over to the other side and flip it again to aft on that side. Now on that middle attachment point, you want a wing C. And you'll see in a minute this ties in very well with the parts around it, I think. So with all of this completed, we're well on our way to having the ship finished. On the outside attachment point of each of your hull A's, you want to find the Nova wing. Put one here and one here, and you want to do that on each side of the ship. So that's 4 of those to start with. Now we need one more thing attached to start putting our engines on. And that's our 30T hauler cargo hold on each side. Using attach again just to narrow down the options on your 30T, and I have it in this orientation with the angle on the bottom and towards the inside of the ship. Now on the back of our outer landers and the back of our 30T cargo holds, we can attach our engines. So find your SAE 5660s and put 2 on this side here, and of course 2 on the opposite side. Now all we need to do is finish off our wings, and then we can move on to buttoning up the top of the ship. And I'm going to start with that instead. So the first thing you want to do here is go to Nova and find the Nova cowlings, and you want to find this version of the Nova cowling, which is the single unit. On the front, we want to go with a 1L Nova cowling. And on the back, we want to go with a 2L Nova cowling. This will be the TA version. Now on the back of our upper hab modules, we are going to place a Deimos tail on each side, here and here. And just in front of those, you can go ahead and duplicate our Deimos spine A's and tie those in nicely to the rest of the shape of the ship. And just in front of those, find the Nova radiator top and put 1 on each side of the ship there. Now duplicate your spine A's again, and then you want to put 1 in the fore orientation and 1 in the aft orientation. Select both of these, duplicate them, and move them over to the other side. Just like you see here. And now we'll go back and complete the wings, like I thought we were going to do before. So find the Nova cowling 2L that goes on the sides of a ship. You want 1 on the outside of each of your wings. Now, quick fun fact, I briefly considered calling this ship the Red Baron. But it wasn't shaped like a pepperoni or a pizza. I'm kidding. The Red Baron was a biplane. So with our last Nova wings attached to the front of our Nova cowlings, we have the basic build completed. The only thing we have left to do is add a few attachments for weapons, and don't forget to attach your comm spike to a nice sneaky and out of sight position such as I did there. Now to get on with our weapons, at these points here you want to go with the Deimos Wing E again, one on each side, here and here. And while we're in here, before we forget, let's get a porthole. The battle stations of the ship has a great view fore and aft. Then you need a horizon weapon mount on the inside in front of those wing E's, and then you want to duplicate those to the ends of each of the outside Nova wings, like so. So that's 6 horizon weapon mounts in total. And that is all we need to add to get all of our weapons attached. Now let's get right in here and get those done. So using the attach function again to narrow down our options, as you can see, the only thing we can place is weapons because we have placed our other equipment already. So first you want to find the Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors. You want to place 2 of those like so. You want to go ahead and duplicate one of those and put 2 more here and here. And now we're going to position 2 more of those Obliterator auto projectors up on top of the Deimos spines that we placed before. The next weapon we need to find is our... Oh, and pardon me, I am going to flip these around. That's what I thought before. It's been a while since I captured this footage. So get those in the right orientation such that the top attachment point is further to the rear of the ship, and reattach your Vanguard Obliterators on top of there. Now we want to attach the PBO 175 auto-helion projectors. Auto-helion beams, excuse me. And now, as I'm attaching these, I'm quickly going to warn you that we have recently found out that these, despite what the game tells us, are not the highest DPS auto particle beams in the game. So a little bit later in the video, I am going to explain that in a little more detail. But before I get there, we need to place our 6 Vanguard Hellfire autocannons. And this ship just really, when you're sitting in the pilot's seat in the bridge of this ship, the view is absolutely empowering. I mean, you see almost all of your guns out there, and it looks incredible. So there are all of our weapons placed, and our build is complete. And you can see our builder check is showing us 2 errors. We are missing a docker, so underneath the 1x1 that we originally placed, we are going with the 100 DP slim docker from Deimos in the bottom orientation. And you could see there that I used the attach function, again because it narrows down our options in the menu and saves us time. So that is our build complete, and the only error you are seeing is the unassigned weapon groups, since we have not done that yet. So now, as usual, it is time to paint your ship. And if you guys couldn't tell, this build, once again, was completely uncut. So until I cut to the final paint scheme, this footage has not been trimmed since I arrived at my outpost landing pad. So what I like to do when I paint is I start by selecting the whole ship and painting it kind of a dark gray, and then figuring out how I want to break up my colors. And of course, as this is a Crimson Fleet ship, I had to do a nice crimson and black, and I mixed in a little bit of the medium gray in there too. Now it's time to assign weapons. Weapon group 0 is right trigger, 1 is left trigger, and 2 is your Y button. And that is done. Now we can name the ship, and this is now one of the coolest ships in your fleet. I think it's one of my coolest ships. I know that is just my opinion, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it. Now, I got really lucky with this one because after I flew it for some time, I wound up with a shield buff, and I also wound up with a persistent power pip, as if I have Sam Coe on my ship, but I don't need him to be on my ship to have that. It just stays there. I don't know how I got these two buffs. I wish I could replicate it because I would absolutely tell all of you guys how to do that. With the build complete, please allow me to give you a tour of the Omen. This has become my favorite ship. It is now my go-to ship, and it's got a great interior. You enter into the ship and you're greeted with the HopeTech 1x1 storeroom, and it has a hatch to the HopeTech 2x1 armory. You can see this little entry area and the single brig cell and sort of like a break room behind that. You can also see the two weapon cases in the rack on the wall there to the right as we went by. Now here's the main ladder of the ship, and this goes straight up through the battle stations and into the bridge. But before we enter the bridge, we should of course have a look around on the main deck of the ship, which includes the battle stations. It also has the forward porthole, viewing the front of the ship, as well as the core window at the aft of the 2x2 battle stations. And right up there is where you would see the armillary. I was really excited to be able to get this to fit on a significantly smaller ship than the other ships I've been able to achieve this with. As you know, the Aegis is much larger, but I was not able to get a core window.
Sorry, I was lost in thought.
Now here's the Stroud Infirmary, and you can see the pharmaceutical lab, which is the primary reason that you would need this on your ship. And then moving to the starboard side, you have the main living quarters in the ship. This is the Stroud living quarters, 2x1, and this is the Stroud all-in-one berth B. I like mixing or using these two together because the living quarters only has 2 beds, whereas the all-in-ones have 4. So it's a nice contrast there and a little bit of RP. Now, 6 beds isn't nearly enough for my crew, as I do have 8 on my ship, and the crew capacity on this ship is very high despite the more compact hab module layout. So the top deck is the captain's private quarters, and here is the captain's workshop. And then moving back across to the starboard side of the ship, you have the captain's quarters. And of course, as a pirate ship, the HopeTech captain's quarters just fits perfectly with the theme of the rest of the build. And you still have an intact nav console in your own little pad there. So now all that's left to do is hop in the pilot's seat and take the ship out for a spin. Now, I did have to go back and recapture all of the combat footage for this, but I also had to recapture it again once we had definitive answer on ship weapon performance. I'm going to go over that very soon and explain that further. And again, this is the Kentucky B400 bridge. Now let's hop in this thing and take her for a spin.
Cockpit's in good shape. We're ready to fly.
Here are the Omen's stats, and these will be relevant for all of the following combat footage. You can see that when I'm in it, I have a shield rating of 3000. Again, I'm not sure where I gained that buff. And once we start flying the ship, you will see that I have an extra power pip in my engines systems, despite not having Sam Coe on my crew. For my crew, I have Amelia Earhart, Andromeda Kepler, Eric Von Price, Jessamine Griffin, Marika Boros, Mickey Caviar, Omari Hassan, and Rafael Aguero. Mickey Caviar is just for fun. I'm at level 125 on my character, and I have nearly maxed out all of the ship skills that I want. I've got rank 3 of Astrodynamics, rank 4 of Anutronic Fusion. I have rank 4 of Ballistic Weapons Systems, rank 4 of Piloting. I currently have rank 3 of Targeting Control Systems, rank 4 of Engine Systems, rank 4 of Payloads, and rank 4 of Shield Systems. I also have rank 4 of Particle Beam Weapons Systems, rank 4 of Starship Design, and rank 4 of Starship Engineering. And my difficulty, I am on Extreme on all 4 of my settings, and I have everything set to give me a 50% boost to my XP gain. So to start us off, we're going to go to Serpentis and do a full lap with PBO 175s. I must confess something to you all, and it is that I have misled you on weapon choice. Not by much, and not intentionally. The values that Bethesda displays in the game for the PBO 175 auto helium beams are incorrect. They list a fire rate of 6, where, thanks to Ship Technician, we have learned that the PBO 175s actually fire at a rate of 4, if not slightly below 4. So when calculating DPS, and according to all the resources that we've had available online, as well as straight up what the game tells us, the PBO 175s are in fact not the highest DPS auto particle beams in the game. That title actually goes to the Exterminator 95 MeV auto helium beams that I have used in previous builds, but always in conjunction with PBO 175s and Vanguard Obliterators. So after learning that, I knew I had to go and replace my PBO 175s with the Exterminators. So I'm going to go back to Taiyo to get those, but you can also get them for sure at Stroud-Eklund Staryard.
Cockpit's in good shape. Ready to fly.
But for me, it wasn't quite that simple. As you can see, I have gained a modest bounty, and therefore I have to fight my way in.
Look alive! This is free store space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. I got this! Climb!
I've now persuaded the fun police to let me pass, but I am met with more resistance. At least Veronica doesn't care about my bounty.
You ready to change your life?
I think she must be paid on commission.
You won't regret your purchase.
And now in the builder, I am going to go about replacing these PBO 175s with 3 Exterminator 95 MEV auto-helium beams. Now, there's a couple of obvious advantages, I'd say, to using the Exterminators, other than the not so obvious difference in damage per second. But the other thing is that they have a slightly increased range over the PBO 175s, where the Exterminators are 3,250 meters, the PBOs are 3,000 meters even. So we're getting a little more range on top of the increased DPS. And you would think that these would still perform pretty closely, but actually it's pretty significantly different. And you'll see in the combat footage following this change how different it really is. Now, to give you guys as close of an apples to apples comparison as I could, once I get these placed on the ship, I'm going to go straight back to Serpentis. And then I'm going to come back to Volii and fight the swarm of ships in Volii orbit again, as I just did, in order to get here to even purchase these weapons. And I would have had to do the same thing as Stroud-Eklund as well. So you see me placing an equipment plate down here, but this Exterminator won't fit with the Vanguard Obliterators. So I'm going to move this out of the way and reposition some of these weapons first. Since we no longer have the PBOs out here on the sides of the wings, we're going to replace those with Vanguard Obliterators. And then I can place the Exterminators where they once were. Now, I also wanted to mention that I have a Discord set up for all of you lovely people to come and join and talk about your ship builds, outpost builds, share screenshots, and learn and potentially teach other players about your experiences and things that you've learned. We've got a great thing going there, and it's growing pretty rapidly. I'd like to think that it will continue to be positive, and I really hope it can benefit not only me, but other creators who wish to join. So feel free to find and follow that link in my bio on my homepage. Now, with these weapons attached, let's go and find out what the difference is. And again, I have to deal with the mysterious tracker, whom I have not spoken to yet, but that may be a future video very soon, as I am very excited to get into some new content. But check out the performance of my concussive breach with flechette rounds. It's pretty radical.
About time we got out of there.
Boy, they really ought to just let me through next time. But now we can head to Serpentis and see if these exterminators made a difference.
You have met your doom. Are you prepared to face judgment? You have met your doom.
Now, I kid you not, at this point, I had to double check that my difficulty settings didn't change due to a bug, because they really feel stronger.
Are you prepared to face judgment? Collective space. Hold while we scan your ship. Damage to space! Hang on! We're hit! Critical damage on the square drive! Look alive! Star Collective. Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship.
Look alive! They don't have the cloud drive!
There's no getting out of this one!
Look alive!
And with those massive battles completed, I thought I would head to my tracker's kiosk in my outpost and show you my final bounty amounts. I've never had bounties this high in the game at all, but I tell you what, it was extremely fun to earn these numbers. I'm sure many of you out there have had much higher bounties, and the only reason that I decided to pay them now is because I didn't want to completely deplete my credits, and I still wanted to be able to move around without constantly being bombarded with 1v20 plus ship battles. But there it is. If you've made it to this point in the video, I applaud you, and I am sincerely grateful for your commitment and support of my channel and my content. The more of my videos you watch, the more the algorithm favors recommending my videos, as well as engagement level. So for those of you who are supporting me, thank you very much, and I am going to keep this up as much as I possibly can. I really love making this content. It is fun and rewarding for me, and now I hope you enjoy me making an embarrassment of the spacer Blattodea and its support ships. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. I have no idea what my next ship will be yet, but I know that very soon I will be entering the Unity for the first time and continuing on my journey of becoming a god in Starfield, as well as a master shipbuilder. Thank you all so very much again for being here, for watching my content, and for supporting my channel. Please join the Discord if you haven't yet. I'd love to have you over there. And again, I'll see you guys next time.